Things are starting to look up for Liam Rosenior now at Leicester City. Manager of the Month nomination and doing well in the Conference League. But he's going to push Leicester City even further, going for that Champions League slot and playing some very good football, scoring some very good goals. Yes, people, here in the UK the sun is out, and welcome back to your installment of a Leicester City Road to Glory video. Hope you guys have had a brilliant day. Leicester City there in the Conference League. 5 wins out of 5. You know what could make today even better? Smash a like and subscribe on the video if you've enjoyed your day and the video. Come the end of it, as one loss, we sit top of the league currently. And if he doesn't win Player of the Year, or sorry, Manager of the Season, or even Month to start off with, Rosenior, there's something going wrong. A win against Arsenal last time out, and we do have in the Carabao Cup Chelsea, his old team. Away from home, potentially could be a played game. However, revenge has already happened there, and we have already won that trophy. I want to go into January, want to go into signing season, and I think we've got to relay that onto Rosenior. Tell him where our priorities lie. Liam, of course, I want to win every game here with Leicester City. I've put money into a squad, not just a first team, so we should be able to play through every condition with every player, but I want you to just let you know, Champions League football and the Conference League should be our priorities. And he says, I'm so glad we're on the same page, but boss, we've got to win every game. And I think we need that squad to be flourished out. I see there's a few contracts unironed. And there is. Maybe he's got a point before we go into signing season with 27 million. Mason Mount, I think we've just got to sign him, or we can't be letting him go on a free. He wants an important role despite actually signing an important player just in front of him. 2-year deal and a little bit more money for Money Mace, but we've got to keep him around. We can't be letting an 80 rated go, especially with Simone Pafunde. Little bit on and off this season. Not in terms of performances, because he's got 6 goals. Onyeka's doing even better, but he had a virus, this man, and I didn't like to see it. I thought we might be losing him on and off to it, as our team's been a little bit different for the Conference League, and I don't really want to play another game in the Conference League. Let's go to the Prem, shall we? Despite everything I have said, this has to be the bread and butter. Just before the window opens, playing at home on a Tuesday night, under the lights at the King Power to assess where we potentially make a signing. It's kind of perfect, but I think our first team's kind of perfect anyway. Not beaten apart from in one game in the Premier League is awesome. As Joe Bellingham, little heel click. We're going to go Diawara back in the team, same as Pafunde, trying to break through. Alcaraz with a block. Decent one, so fair play. Simeone Pafunde trying skills in the middle of the park. That is a very lucky nutmeg. And Onyeka onto Pau Sands, who's going to try and cut inside. He had the overlap. Come on. Play to the shape as Di Galateria. Never heard of him. Domage replaces Adam Asnu, who obviously joined us to fit into our shape. Or it wasn't even that at the start, as Tieno Barry looking for a little inward road, and he scores. Sorry, but that might be the worst I've seen from Siemen in goal. Hits it around his foot, and maybe it was a little bit off-sighted. The German Collins in the way of the German. So a mistake from the keeper at half-time, but honestly, I don't want to replace our man in sticks. Edouard Mendy's coming as a backup, and I will trust him as one. Get an early tackle in there. Not a reckless one, Joe Bellingham, but one that could have won the ball, please, and thank you next time with Pafunde. Playing very slowly, you know what? Mason Mount might be back in this lineup before we know it. Pafunde around the corner. Here's Adam Asnu doing what he does best and crossing it into the gap. Mobama's straight offside, and that was so well worked, it's got to be said. That's a great tackle by Asnu, and they're running around pushing the ex-teammate, trying to get him sent off. Disgraceful behaviour, Everton, as the cross comes in. Tieno Barry takes it on the chest and puts it wide. He could have had about a hat-trick. This could be our second defeat, and to Everton, no offence, I've loved that series we did on the Toffees last time out. But it would hurt. That should have been a goal. Plonking Mobama on the head on the way back out. Come on, though. They're making defensive changes to keep this win. Adam Asnu. The cross fails. Diawara. There's a run in there from Mobama. It's wide once more. And that unfortunately means a loss When I check the games I've simulated this season, a 3-0 loss to Fulham, a loss on penalties to Chelsea, a loss at Hajduk Split, and now Everton. 4 on the bounce. It's the curse of the manager of the month because I fully reckon Liam Rosenior would have got it. Heading into the next Premier League game against Spurs, now actually fighting to just stay in the top 4. And reports from Italy. Profundi could be on the move, and it's not even confirmed if it is to another Italian club. Simone, I'm seeing reports. You've been my star boy for a while. What does it take to keep you here? This Leicester project's exciting. Well, boss, I can't lie. I love the management. I love the way the team is playing. But I've been here since a young lad, and ambition comes into my mind. I need to be playing at the top flight for as long as possible. And if that means moving right now, I've got a feeling he's going to take that move. As let's see on the Google Maps, the best stadium in England, which might be an EFL one very soon. The Hotspurs, Tottenham's ground, really need to get a victory here. 4 defeats in a row. Still, we've got to trust the philosophy of Mr. LinkedIn. There's a gap right there for Divi Mubama. If we are going to get onto form, it should be against Tottenham. Mubama! Missed chances late on in that last game. Doesn't miss early on here. See, Simone, what do you want to leave this team for? Really well worked through the middle. Perfect ball, and Marcus Leonardo turns. He's going to try and get them back into this game. We've had some very eventful games against Tottenham Hotspur and Simmons. I wish him well in real life with that injury, but that's a fluke goal. You couldn't ask for more excitement, really, if you wanted it as a neutral. Come on, though. Tottenham, we've got to beat. We've got to keep this race up for potentially a title. We're almost 20 games deep, sitting in second spot. Divi Mubama was bounced off the ball, but Diawara wins it back. Joe Bellingham into Divin. He needs to run around him. Joe Bellingham. Make that move. He's not going to do it, so we're going to keep the ball. And that's really well worked into Pau Sands. Just hammer it. Still, we keep it. And Pau Sands, that's towards Collins again. Going to be handled. Penalty to Leicester. It was Kevin Danzo. In my opinion, one of the best defenders for Tottenham Hotspur. I've got to switch it off. Go the other way. Francis Onyeka, 2-1 to Leicester. In a game I've not been able to catch my breath for absolutely 1 second, has not been allowed, with Mamadou Sarr around the corner, Joe Bellingham, Mubama. Geronimo Domina waiting on the bench for his opportunity, but Mubama, when you think he's a little bit cooked, he goes and does something really special. As a ball through the middle here, Tottenham pushing Ali Solanke. Why is he allowed to walk in? Don't do that stupid arrow celebration. They've pulled one back late on as we desperately need a goal, though, to win it. 82nd minute, Pau Sands! You've got to score. What a save, Chevalier. And to be fair, at least January's been a little bit nicer to us. A 2-1 cup win, then a win against Arsenal again, though a defeat to Fulham. It has us third in the Premier League, 1 point still within the Champions League spots. Conference League, nothing decided. We've actually finished third, still good. Inter actually in the competition, no bits in for Simone Profundi. The biggest one in for Divi Mubama, 56.9 million. However, he goes to X because he's heard the rumours, and he says despite the allegations of a fallout in the previous seasons, he isn't going anywhere, and Diawara also joins him in backing the team, Leicester City, to keep on fighting. And that's led to another conversation with Liam Rosenior on recruitment. He opens it by saying the new signing is needed before Brentford. Despite them not being a huge team in stature, in size worldwide, this game against the Bees is more crucial than the semi-final last year. I don't know about that, Liam, and we don't have much money, but I do want another centre-back to compete with Burnett. And this is what we've got to choose from. 3 potential players, and then an old head in Tosin Adarabioyo, who he's obviously had at Chelsea, kind of betraying him by getting him sacked. Not him individually, the old Chelsea team as a collective. Plus his wage is going to be massive. We've got Dylan Leonard, Kamara, and Banks to all choose from. And I think Noah Kai Banks, Atletico de Madrid, being coached by Simeone, would be a massive addition to this Leicester side. 20 million for some guaranteed game time. Rui Borges now in charge of them, but he said We needed another player, so I've gone and backed him with one, but I've discovered Alves in the squad. Gonna swap it to King, but the whole reason he has gone into the starting 11, Achilles tender rupture to Asnu. Really not good. You know what is good, though? We get that win we needed against Brentford. You thought I was playing it, let's be honest. But we're not playing that. We're playing in the Conference League. I stated it would be crucial, as when we go and see we've got Aberdeen in the round of 16. Bring it on. Win this competition. A huge step towards Europa League. However, we want to get into the Champions League. Going to Scotland firstly. I remember actually Liam Rosenior saying a lot about Aberdeen when he was at Strasbourg. How good of a club they are, how well historically ran they are. Or not how well historically ran they are, but how historic they are and how they're ran to actually go for the Conference League like they have done here with... That's a good pass around the corner into Jensen. Edouard Mendy. He's forced into an early save and Collins gets it a little bit away from danger. Although Ortega! That is a goal to send the stadium crazy. It is Enrique Ortega. You can't help but feel a little bit happy for the man. Scoring an absolute screamer in the Conference League. He takes it on the half volley as well. I rotated my team for this, or should I say Liam Rosenior rotated his team for it with Cohen King out wide, Mason Mount in, Braybrook the same, Leandro Santos is on the right-hand side, finally getting used to a little bit of game time. No, Mason Mount's offside. Terrible pass, or is he not? Maybe he isn't. Job into Santos, just keep the ball, tire them out with all the passing. Francis Onyeka gets a gap. I won't accept defeat right here. We've got the big boys on the bench like Pafunde, who we survived the transfer market with, despite him speaking potentially leaving. Demeanor, get going again. That is in towards Francis Onyeka. I thought it was offside. Cuts inside for that low-down shot. The team love to do it, and Cohen King taking the corners. I think Asnu used to take them. Cohen King, maybe he goes himself. Handball! If I was a fan of Aberdeen, I'd be absolutely fuming. Now Onyeka, the only spot. He hasn't gone. He's down the middle. Have a little celebration, not too much. Maybe his wife's had a baby. Rocking the cradle, but we're not rocking it out here. The game's getting later. Rodgers a confirmed signing to Chicago Stars. Thanks for that news. Definitely what we needed. Onyeka's gonna seize the space. What a save by Mitov. And now the corner whipped in, this time by Mason Mount towards the captain. Ante Pavalesa gets it away. Football Manager wonder kid. I always used to sign him from Manchester City. Leipzig, another one. In towards their striker. Sammy Braybrook worrying. The fact he had to whack that, and demeanour. He charges down the defenders, however. We did win a penalty from a shot just from far out. But that's brilliant work. And this goalkeeper, Mitov, man. And there's a chip over the top right there. Mendy has to make the save. Disappointed with the lads. A 1-1 draw with Aberdeen. Still, it is all to play for. I don't like that we've got to win the one-off game, but we can go back to our full-strength team. Hopefully win this competition and maybe still the Prem.